Next thing on the agenda is the Lincoln County Dilapidated and Abandoned Buildings Enforcement Agency. Let's see here. Commissioners, we've received a letter here from Steve McComas, who is the chairman of the Dilapidated and Abandoned Building Enforcement Agency. It seems that they have been trying to get Linda Diane Matheny of Branchland to work with them on a piece of property on Route 10 and North Street there in Pleasant View. As you'll see in your letter, there's an attached map outlining the parcel. Number 29 is the parcel number. They've been dealing with this for several months. It says 11 months since the initial contact. And they're recommending that the action be taken to proof to be submitted that the property has been cleared. All structures must be repaired or meet current building codes, remove all other debris that may be present.
So, any recommendation how we might approach it?
Well, I think we need to send a certified letter, which that is what our next step is, to either certify or let the deputies give it to the sheriff, let them deliver it to Ms. Matheny, giving her so many days to get back with the commission, or that we will take the next step into having the repairs completed or torn down. We have to place a lien on her property.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we request the sheriff's office to serve notice as soon as they possibly can. Second.
I say,
Did all yes to do that? Motion carries. Are you familiar with the property? You smell it, maybe.
Okay, next thing on the agenda is Rick McDowell.
Welcome, Rick. And Ryan. Beside you.
Ryan, you're not supposed to come on up.
Yeah, I'm close, so I'm probably right behind him.
What's that usually?
Keeper.
Bad forward. You guys would watch my back. I don't want this guy in a green shirt to do anything strange. We want to give you an update on the project. What you got here is a sort of a sheet. Shows you some of the highlighted things that have been going on. I think some of the important stuff is that we, the last time we met, we talked about these adapter rings that we were having trouble with because we had leakage coming in through the systems. We had a meeting at the beginning of August where we had people from Infiltrator. Infiltrator are the people who make the tanks themselves, and Polylock, they're the people who make the adapter ring and the risers and the lid, and then Anua Ordinamona. They all came together. We spent some time sitting around the table talking about some approaches. We went out to the field. We did a retrofit. We still have some more things we're working through. It was good to get people from these national organizations down here to help us solve the problems. We had a meeting today with people from Orenco, which is another septic system technology, sort of on the par with Anua, who were in the watershed, along with some folks from Roth Tanks. This is another tank manufacturer, just to sort of look at some other kind of options that we might think about. We don't have any recommendations at this time to make. Ryan's going to give you some updates on some of the things that we've been doing to try to figure out some of these problems. The other thing that you've got is an update on expenditures. Phase 4 is funded like the last 2 phases, by West Virginia DEP's money. The total for this phase is $759,000. We just did another drawdown. The way this happens is we do things, spend money, ask the state to reimburse us the project and the county commission, and they reimburse us. So we just did a drawdown, and at this point, we have spent out $187,000 of the total grant, and we've got $572,000 or more than that left. My hope is that by the end of February, all of this would have been spent out.
Be ready for 5 then.
Ryan's ready for 5.
Trying to be.
Ryan's
Getting
ready
there.
for 5.
Getting closer.
So, and the state's talking about it. Part of the meeting actually today was to begin looking with the Renco and Roth to get their ideas for 5. So,
Well, they have to be pleased with the work that you guys have done. I mean, I can
so
see-
far they have.
Yeah, right.
Well, hopefully we can get to the end of this one
Well,
without them.
a lot of good.
Yeah, I think so. We've been happy with it. So Ryan's going to talk a little bit about the kind of stuff we've been doing to solve the current problem.
Well, it's kind of taken a little bit of development at first, because I mean, when you first found these leaking adapter problems to start with, and we're like, okay, this is a problem. So we wanted to eliminate however many ones were leaking, and how would we determine that other than me going out and re-dye testing pretty much every system. So that's what I did. Kind of came back and put it in Excel format and thought, oh, this is easier to see. Well, in the process of doing that, we also found that there were some of these adapters that were also cracked. And now we are not 100% positive on what the responsibility lies. Is it the installer's problem because they installed it incorrectly? Is it the tanks because they're flimsy and they're moving around in the ground? Is it the adapters because they're flimsy and maybe they're just not sturdy enough, or not adapters that we should be using? You know, so we decided that the next thing we needed to do is, you know, we've got these leaking adapters, but then we felt like we also needed to figure out which ones had cracks and where they were positioned. So we kind of made a little diagram of 4 different circles. Each circle represents a lid, or, you know, a riser for the septic tanks, and we put little X's based on the positions of the cracks. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back, we're going to check again, and if there's more cracks that show up over a period of time, especially after like heavy rains and things like that, then that would kind of lean towards this idea that maybe the tanks are flimsy and that they're just not as sturdy as the original tanks that they had come out with. So we thought that would be good. So we've been back and we checked all these places. You know, we marked all these cracks. Let's see. So now at least we know which adapters have been cracked, which adapters leak, and you know what still needs to be fixed. So we're just kind of trying to find the exact culprit for that, and how do we, you know, move around that. And you know, we're still kind of in the process of that, but so we're a little bit closer. A little bit closer.
Are these the plastic tanks?
Yeah.
And not unlike what we were doing, probably, maybe it was not until October or November last year, we were again crawling down inside of these tanks, not all the way down, but at least down as we were doing when we were taking pictures before, to try to figure out where these doggone cracks are. So people in the watershed probably see these legs sticking out of these tanks and wondering what's happening. It's only us.
We are also working towards making sure that we want to make sure that we're taking samples while we're doing all this other stuff in the meantime, so that we keep getting those good results. And we want
I was thinking, well, there's no water out there to sample.
that's true. It's true. There hasn't been much rain,
We're
really.
taking samples, discharge samples out of the system, but we haven't been able to take a sample out of the creek.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since
Early
before,
June.
yeah, some. Almost.
So, any questions you guys, ladies, audience have about this? That's an ongoing saga.
It's never, it's the same.
It is. It
It's
is.
the same in that it's ongoing.
Yes.
We've always got a challenge.
Well, guys, we appreciate it. And, I do, you know, I know that gets challenging, but I think that we do need to be looking at down the road, what can we do to keep, you know, I like to see every home in this watershed really provided with a quality system. That should be the goal.
We've got some ideas.
Because waters, public waters come, get most of it.
Yes.
We got all the pieces together for
I
that.
think one of the challenges with that is we really want to coordinate with them as we put in systems so that their lines and any kind of lines
Yeah.
we do and crossing the road and all that stuff, you certainly don't want to have to go back and dig up the road a whole lot of times. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, that's a good thought. All right,
All right,
appreciate
well,
it.
Thank you.
we'll bring you more information next time.
All right.
So,